In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 places to visit in Canada. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. From elegant, metropolitan capitals to mountain resorts and marine ports, Canada's cities and towns offer vacationers a broad range of experiences. The greatest destinations to visit may be determined by your interests and the sort of vacation you want to take. Toronto, Canada's largest city and the epicenter of the nation's arts and cultural scene, is located in the heart of the country. Niagara Falls, located nearby, is a must-see destination for travelers to Canada that never fails to wow. Montreal is famed for its fashion, culture, and history in the nearby French-speaking province of Quebec. Eastern Canada has its own culture, with a strong marine tradition and welcoming people. There are many more major cities and lesser-known jewels to see around the nation. Here are the greatest locations to visit in Canada for inspiration as you plan your trip. Number 10. Quebec City. Quebec City, like Montreal, is steeped in history and is situated in the French-speaking province of Quebec. This is the provincial capital and the oldest city in the province, dating back to the early 1600s. This is one of Canada's most picturesque capital cities, with its historic buildings and meandering cobblestone lanes. Quebec City, which is one-third the size of Montreal, is likewise tiny and simple to travel. While summer is the busiest season, the Carnival de Quebec, the city's most well-known festival, draws massive people throughout the winter. Number 9. Halifax. Halifax is an excellent starting point for anybody interested in learning more about Canada's maritime provinces. With a few ancient buildings and lots of bustles, the Halifax waterfront is the city's primary tourist destination, especially during the summer months. The Halifax Citadel National Historic Site, one of the city's principal attractions, towers above the city. A handful of little coastal settlements outside of the city provide a wonderful picture of life in the Maritimes. Peggy's Cove, home to the most photographed lighthouse in the Maritimes, is one of the most well-known communities. Lunenburg and Mahone Bay, a bit farther away, are well worth a visit. It is strongly advised that you take a day excursion from Halifax. Number 8. Victoria. Because of its island position, British Columbia's lovely capital city has a charming, small-town vibe. The city, which is located on the southern point of Vancouver Island, enjoys a temperate climate all year, with rainy mild winters and warm, wonderful summers. From late autumn to early spring, Victoria is one of the hottest spots in Canada, drawing Canadians from all over the nation. Looking out over the port, south across the Strait of Juan de Fuca to Washington State, or over to the mountains on mainland British Columbia, the views are breathtaking. The Parliament Buildings and the historic Empress Hotel are situated on Victoria's inner harbor, which attracts the majority of tourists. On a beautiful day, a walk along the shoreline is breathtaking. Beaches and attractive coastal locations, as well as parks and hiking paths, are all located just outside the city core. Number 7. Ottawa. Ottawa, Canada's capital, is home to several exceptional national museums and historic monuments, as well as Parliament Hill, and it is situated along the Rideau Canal in a picturesque location. It's also a tiny city, so it's simple to go about and explore. Summer is a great time to come since there are so many activities going on, such as the Tulip Festival in the spring and the typically spectacular Canada Day celebrations on July 1st. When the weather is cold enough in the winter, the canal is transformed into a 7.8-kilometer-long skating rink, and the annual Winterlude events in February bring large crowds. There is never a terrible time to visit Ottawa, which is just a few hours away from Toronto by car or rail. Number 6. St. John's. The ancient and pleasant city of St. John's is located in Canada's far eastern province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Although it is the primary air entrance to the island of Newfoundland, many visitors come merely to enjoy the city. The sloping alleys that go along hills, with views out over the port, are lined with colorful structures. The city also includes a number of historic monuments and attractions, including as Signal Hill and George Street, but the true draw is the dynamic environment, friendly people, and marine culture that distinguishes it from the rest of Canada. Number 5. Banff National Park. The lovely mountain town of Banff, located inside the spectacular Banff National Park, is a must-see for anybody interested in exploring the Rocky Mountains and seeing some of Canada's most breathtaking landscapes. This is clearly a tourism town that caters to visitors from all over the world. The turquoise lakes, such as Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, nestled under glacier-capped mountains, provide a spectacular sight in the summer. Driving the Icefields Parkway, which connects the park to Jasper National Park, is one of the greatest ways to take in the scenery. Consider tackling one of Banff's greatest hiking paths if you're looking for a little extra adventure and workout. These traditional trails lead to some of the park's most magnificent views. Skiers and snowboarders flock to the region in the winter to experience the slopes of Lake Louise and Sunshine Village, two of Canada's top ski resorts. But you don't have to leave Banff to take a gondola ride to the top of a mountain for supper, swim in a hot springs-fed pool, shop until you drop, wander along gorgeous walking paths, and potentially see elk and woodland caribou that visit the town. Number 4. Montreal. Montreal is a one-of-a-kind city, with a lovely old historic quarter dating from the 1600s and a contemporary city center with vast underground shops. With cobblestone alleys and wonderful old buildings, Old Montreal is the primary tourist attraction, and it's a great area to get lost while wandering up and down the ancient streets. There are several beautiful parks and beaches in and around Montreal. Montreal is also home to a huge number of fashion designers and high-end shops, as well as small hotels and restaurants line the old streets. Although Montreal is located in the French-speaking province of Quebec, English-speaking tourists will have no problem connecting with anybody in the tourism sector. Number 3. Toronto. Toronto, being the country's biggest city, is a cultural hotspot, offering ballet, opera, symphony, and Broadway performances. The CN Tower, a landmark, is also located here. There is no limit to the enjoyment when you combine spectacular shopping, exquisite food, and magnificent museums. Toronto's waterfront has been undergoing continual expansion in recent years, and currently has attractive strolling spaces, restaurants, and outdoor concerts and cultural acts throughout the summer. Beautiful beaches lie just outside the city center, in either direction from downtown, and are ideal for hot summer days. A public skating rink opens outside the City Hall in the winter, and distinctive winter events, such as the famous Winterlicious, add to the pleasure. Ski resorts may also be found near Toronto. Number 2. Niagara Falls. The spectacular Niagara Falls, Canada's most renowned natural wonder, has been attracting visitors virtually since its discovery. The sight of the massive wall of water crashing over the falls is breathtaking, as is the perspective and access provided to guests. You may actually go up to the brink of the falls and watch the water disappear over the top, divided only by a cast-iron fence. The 115-year-old Canadian Niagara Power Company generating plant will be inaugurated by the Niagara Parks Commission in 2021. This intriguing structure shows its vintage generators and electrical equipment after years of laborious restorations and rehabilitation. Visitors will be able to descend under the structure and wander through ancient water tunnels before arriving at the river's edge below the falls. The people and environment generated by the falls have had a significant impact on the city that has grown up around them, also known as Niagara Falls. Throughout the decades, stuntmen and daredevils have risked their lives on the falls, resulting in a carnival-like atmosphere that has come to characterize this distinctive city. Niagara Falls is a short trip from Toronto, and the city is a pleasant spot to visit for a day or two. Number 1. Vancouver. You can't go wrong arranging a vacation to Vancouver if you're looking for beauty, climate, a great environment, and lots of things to do. This busy city, located on the Pacific Ocean's coastlines and surrounded by snow-capped mountains, is known for its year-round outdoor activities. In the summer, sunbathers may enjoy the beaches, while skiers can enjoy the adjacent ski slopes in the winter. You may walk the seawall or wander through Stanley Park's towering trees at any time of year, enjoy exquisite dining or a casual lunch while watching the sunset, or go shopping from Granville Island's